Okay, good afternoon, Achan. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Utari Primadini, and today I would like to present a book from Professor Roger called The Network is Your Customer, 5 Strategy to Thrive in the Digital Age. This book consists of 9 chapters that it's divided to 3 parts, and today I would like to present the part 1, chapter 1, and chapter 2. In the first chapter, we talk about the customer network revolutions. Look closely at the bee. You may see it's flying from tree to bush and to find a best nectar, or you watch it gather up pollen, or marvel when they gather a wax to build a hive. And you may see that bees is a part is industrious insect for solitary and getting food. But look at the bigger picture. Bees is part of the fast hiving content of the colony. Like humans, bees is sharing connections by invisible webs of communications. Instead of wiggles, hums, and pheromones, we communicate by digital technology. Back in the days, we see customer as isolated and passive individuals. But nowadays, the world has changed and business needs a new paradigm. So there was a customer network. Customers seen as a dynamic and interactive participants in a network. There's a four-story of a customer network. There's a challenging authority, bashing a brand, loving a brand, and driving your business. The first story came from all the way from Iran. Back in the days, the government controlled its country, mass media, individual citizen has no way to spread their own points of view. But in the summer of 2009, the supreme leader of Iran announced that incumbent President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad had won re-elections. The announcement was widely disbelieved, and Iranians took the streets in the hundreds of thousands, but they didn't just march. They used a variety of digital technology available to communicate with each other and outside the world. The days of turmoil led to the brutal crackdowns and violence as evidence each shared by videos and photographs. The protesters' call for a rerun of the elections was not successful. But in a new globally networked world, the government could not easily squash the voice of the protest. And the second story came from Dave Carroll, a singer-songwriter who was traveling from Halifax to Nebraska with his band. The United Airlines badly damaged his guitar, but the airlines refusing to compensate. After all of the hard work and trying to contact the United Airlines, unfortunately, they are not help them and doesn't want to compensate. Carol wrote a song called United Breaks Guitar on YouTube. Within 2 days, the video has been watched more than a million. Within few months, the video has been viewed more than 5 million times and attract 35,000 comments from customers. The United Airlines was contacting Carol to apologize and offer him compensations, which he declined. And he asked United Airlines just to give it to the charity. But because of the Carol, the new luggage policies was made. Before they never bother this kind of problem because it was statistically insignificant. But in the customer network, every customer experience can be significant. And having a customer network not only have a bad things, that's also have a positive things. And the third story come to a loving a brand. Dusty Sork and Michael Jazorski is an aspiring artist, made a Facebook page of Coca-Cola. Within few weeks, the page has 1,700 fans. Within 4,000, the number was well over a million. Facebook announced a new rule forbidding fan page for brands that were not owned by the company represented. Facebook user around O and Dusty and Michael's page will either have to be shut down or given back to the Coca-Cola. But Coke's management was not pleased. When Facebook handed the page ownership over the company, Coca-Cola handed the management of the page right back to Dusty and Michael. And Dusty and Michael invited to Coca-Cola and have some tour and can spread a lot of good things about the Coca-Cola itself. And the fourth story is driving your business. Jack Nichols and Jacob DeHart carnivore the traditional models of their clothing business. It's called Threadless. The two Jakes, they invite their customer to create design for a t-shirt and upload them to the Threadless website to compete a design contest. The winning designs are sold back to the same customer who voted. Winner receive a cash prize, but submissions are motivated just as much by the customer desire to see their t-shirt design to come alive and be worn by the others. There's a company basic mistakes. The first one is infatuations with technology. The higher management see that was a changing of the social media and they want them to use the social media and tell the managers to let get some of that. Lack of customer insight. Companies launch plans without taking the time to understand network behavior of their customer and what is driving behavior. Like have clear objective. Company launch plan without taking the time to understand network behavior of their customers and limited scope of vision. A few people have a public relations communications or tasked with managing customer networks with no visions and how the networks works. So there is 5 customer networks. The first one is access. In the access, we want them to be quickly, easily, and flexible. The next generations expected a real-time data, location over mobile service, all full computing technology. So in access, we want them to be faster, easier, and be everywhere, and be always on. The second one is engage. In Japan, a new literacy emerged, the cell phones novel. So become a source of value content is very important to the customer. And the third one is customize. The web itself is the ultimate customizable medium. Make you offering adaptable view customer needs. It's the most important things that the organizations can do. Second is connect. Across the world, people, brands, book club, rock band, connect with their friends. So become part of the customer conversation is one of the best strategy as well. And the last one, and the hardest one, is collaborating. Beyond just sharing ideas and conversation, network customers are mobilizing together. So you have to invite your customer to help build your enterprise. Today's in the digital tools allow groups to form and collaborate easily across the distance. There is a customer network strategies that few of the companies have used. This is only just a few example that Apple use outside developer apps to help them together and develop their apps. Others have an email, building a community, and the book become 4 top sold USA Today's best-selling. Nike create a world largest running community. Dell give a voice to the people and generate new ideas and improve their technology. Guns make a play with an online virtual world so it can be integrated and connected to the new customer. So where do you begin? How do you decide which of the 5 core strategies to connect with them? There is 5 steps of process of the development of customer network strategy. The first one is setting objective. You have to know what is your goals to make it. Is it awareness or is it the selling? Also, you have to set the clear objective of your customer networks. Second, segmenting and positioning. Knowing your segment, target, and position yourself will help a lot of things with your brand. The third one, strategy selections and ideations. There's 5 steps that we already know. There is assess, engage, customize, connect, and collaborations. It could be 2 until 3 strategy. The ideal one that assess it should be on your strategy and you can choose another 1 or 2. It could be engage, customize, connect, and collaborate. But the hardest one was the collaborate. And then executions. You have to know how to implement your strategy as well. And then measurement. You have to measure your strategy and having the feedback on your strategy and keep developing to be the better strategy that you can provide. And we go to chapter 2, the network science and lessons for business. Uh, the origins of the network theory. The concept of networks, first known as the graph theory. Euler solved a long-standing puzzle known as can you cross all the 7 bridges without repeating in? And the answer of that question is no. You cannot you cannot press the 7 bridges without repeating everything. So as disease can transmit to so, as disease can transmit, so do the ideas. Paul Petros and Albert Renew also say that in the new era that this is clustered but not centered, and it's come to the new insight. So what is the definitions of customer network? Customer network is the set of all current and potential customer of an organization linked to the organizations and each other through a web of digital and interactions. There is a Metcalfe's law. When there's 2 participants, they can only connect with each other, which creates one edge. You can be imagined easily as the fax machine. If there's only 2 fax machines, so there's only be 1 link. But when there are 5 participants, they can make 10 unique connections, which creates 10 edges. If there's have a 10 fax machines, so you can create 10 edges, 10 links. As the number of participants grows, there are more unique connections. We add participants that can create 28 links. And how you calculate the links by n multiple n minus 1 and 2. And then the network effects lead to participants of tipping point. Tipping points is a certain number to earn a profit. This is a new way to calculate your business. And there's also a 6th degree of separation. There's a small world hypothesis. In the past, it takes 6 degrees of separations. So you only 6 people away from Bill Gates or any other famous person in this world. Because of the digital era, it's now decreased to 4 or 5 degrees. And there is also power loss and the 99-1 rules. There is 90% observer that will believe to your organizations, 9% semi-active participants that will follow you, and 1% active participants that will participate. And the 1% is usually influencers. So you have to maintain that 1% to be able that have 10% that will follow you and 100% will believe it in you. In the old model, there's a mass communications that was one-to-one communication tools by phone, letter, or face-to-face. But in the many-to-many communication tools, there's a lot of things. There's email, blogs, comments, videos, wikis, forums, social networks, and we expect it to grow in the future. There's a customer network paradigm. There is a mass market models. Back in the days, broadcast tools to maximize the range and frequency of the mass. So we can know as the ads on the televisions or on the radio, that was called broadcast because they have the goals to have broadcasts as much possible and as much as frequently as possible. But in the customer network, not only company produce or communicate, but the customer is also communicating. There is rethinking of the customer funnel. At first, there was awareness. Back in the days, we have TV, radio, out of the door. But in nowadays, they have search engine SEO, SEM, product buzz, and blogs. We have direct mail and browser in the considerations. That was online research, peer reviews. And in these considerations, we want to be the top of mind of the customer. And thus we have preference. Back in the days, we have product tests, comparisons. But today, the preference, it's on the YouTube videos and Banana Shop. In actions, we have in-store purchase. Nowadays, because that we expected that we can access all of the things easily, we expect it to be online, in-store, and mobile purchase. And the last one from the traditional purchase is loyalty. It could be reward points, but in the network purchase stage, it was bookmaking, email operations, and in this area, we expect to be cross-selling and upselling. And the new one on the customer funnel that was advocacy. And has no distinct on the traditional purchase, but in the new network purchase, there is advocacy that could be from blogs, video, reviews, and online communities. And in advocacy, we expect that people to have a positive word of mouth and participate in our activities. To the mass market approach, we have different things from today in the customer network approach and to marketing. Back in the days, we have mass, the market manufacturer message, one size fits all. That's I already told you earlier that it could be like TV broadcast, radio, and something like that. But today, we expect it to be niche. It will choose, create, or modify to suit his or her needs. And back in the days, we have broadcast out. So we just have to create one advertising and broadcast it to all of the social media, all of the platform that we have, and we expected the people to understand our products. But today we have to send out and receive. That's the different things that in today we have to receive, connect with the customer. And the third one is interrupt functions. But for customer network, we have earned the attention. Back in the days when you watch the movie and you have a commercial ads, so you interrupt their intentions. But today, because there are so many informations, we have to earn their attention by providing a good content, utility, and experience. And the fourth one is most effective selling is by company advertising. But today, most effective selling is by customer advocacy, reviews, word of mouth. That's why we also expected there's influencers, there's macro and micro influencers that can be helped with that. And the goal in the mass market approach, we have goal of marketing is to persuade. But today, the goal of marketing is to inspire confidence, trust, loyalty, and also advocacy. And for the last one, the mass market approach marketing is dominant tools is awareness differentiation. But for today network, we want its the dominant tools to be innovations, collaborations, and the values. So that's all for the chapter 1 and chapter 2. Thank you for your